Hey nerds, we're gonna talk about something really fun here for a second, but first, I managed to muster up another few orbs, so let's see if we can't roll on this Vantage one again, and hopefully get a blue orb. Hey look, it's a blue orb! Let's see what we don't get. Is it something nice? Huh? What do we get? Ah, yay! He's 4 stars. Wait a second. That doesn't make me happy. 4 stars. I'm kidding. I mean, sure, I'll take it. Let's see what his stats are. And let me just take a peek-see. 17 attack. Pretty sure that's normal attack. Speed is baned. Defense is... Resistance is his boon, really? Ah. Throw it on the scrap pile, I don't want it. I'm kidding, but, you know. Anyways. Alright. Well, after that little summoning session, we had a bit of a problem. Mostly with the rendering software on this computer. Unfortunate, but I fixed it, and I think we're back. So, I wanted to talk to you guys about Flier Emblem, because a lot of people really love Horse Emblem. So, we already have the subclasses in this game. We have armored units, we have cavalry, and then of course we have flying units, and also, I guess, as a subcategory, dragons as well, because, you know, some people really love their dragons and want to make, you know, a team out of that. Sure, why not? Okay, go ahead. But, well, I'm going to talk about probably the second best kind of team configuration would be Flier Emblem. But, I'm going to make some special notes here real quick to talk about a few things, a few characters of note. Mostly, Spring Camilla. If you happen to have Spring Camilla, consider yourself really lucky because she is a very unique unit in the game, and she's also kind of creepy at times. But, still, as it is with Spring Camilla, she is the only flying unit who actually has access to tomes, at least right now, as I'm recording this, which is a rarity. And we could definitely use more of her, but I'm kind of terrified by that aspect because that means Flier Emblem will become a lot more potent, as, well, we've kind of seen when it comes to Horse Emblem. So, the only problem, though, is that it requires you to sacrifice one innocent little girl. And that's never a fun thing, but it's always kind of fun to watch. So I figured, hey, let's have a public execution right now, guys. Are you ready? Okay, let's just murder this poor little girl on stream right now. Well, stream, recording, whichever one works. Here we go. There you go, Camilla. Where's my good old darling Nino? There we go. Perfect. You're such a good little Nino, doing that just for me. And there we go, and have them both. I'm so proud of her. So proud of her. Congratulations, Nino. You've been murdered. Anyways, Grondblade will allow her to take these buffs that may come from units that have Hone and Fortify Flyers and allow Camilla to do a buttload of damage and move as quickly and as far away as possible, especially if you give her drawback as well, which will help her out with, you know, repositioning other teammates as well. So, never a bad idea. But, outside of that, we of course have the other problem that comes with Flier Emblem. And that is that a lot of the units that have these really high capabilities and these really high skills that would help out the flying team, your Hone Flyers, your Goad Flyers, they typically come from units that really are only available as 5 stars and are typically a little bit harder to find. Just as a fair warning. So, I'm going to show you, I mean, for instances, I'm sure a lot of you actually have Minerva by now. Minerva is a great option. She already has access to, here's mine right now. Still has Axe Breaker on her, but still, I think she has Lance Breaker. I haven't taught her that yet. But anyways, she does have Ward Flyers. Very nice to have along the way. Pretty cool if you decide to go with it. And it's definitely a good option if you, well, want to have that. Maybe. Maybe not. I'm not too sure, but still. Let's talk about another unit that would help out with that, and this is of course with the red unit, and she can be pretty useful herself if you decide to put her in that. Granted, you might want to move her ability over to another unit if you decide to do so, but I need to actually move down to a different star rarity. Talking is really hard today. There we go, Paula. Here she is in all her glory. And as you can see, she has access to, I believe it is Goad Flyers, which is a nice ability there. Oh. Ooh. We actually do have a Sheeta. That's good too. Sheeta is the other one that I like to look at because Sheeta has access to Fortify Flyers. Now, unfortunately, there is one problem when it comes to creating the last portion of your flying team when it comes to Flyers, and that is if you want to have Hone Flyers, there is only one unit that it actually comes from. And that unit is extra special rare because she only comes in one rarity, and that is 5 stars as well. And that, of course, is Hinoka, and I do not have a Hinoka on me. At least I don't think I do. I don't know if one slipped in when I wasn't looking, but I'm pretty sure I don't have a Hinoka. Do have 2 Clairs, though. That's like something, right? No, it isn't. But, oh, there goes my plans. I was gonna make a really nice... I actually did not realize when I was making, researching for this video that Hinoka was the only one who actually had Hone Flyers, which is unfortunate because I'm the only, she is probably the only unit that I do not have when it comes to making a Flyers team. But here are some interesting options that you could put these on, and here are some characters that are actually pretty useful if you decide to go with a flying team. Tsubaki is one character that I find fascinating. I make a lot of jokes about him, and I say that he isn't that great, but he is actually pretty tanky, and he can be a fairly good flying unit that if you decide to attach, say, Fortify or Hone, I don't know if you would want to, get rid of Hinoka for that. Hinoka can take his spot if need be, but if you need to, have a cheap, effective unit that would be good enough for a flyer unit, he's always an option to fill in the void if you need it. If you don't have, say, a Minerva or something, or, any sort of other unit, I wouldn't really put him as the replacement for Minerva, but still, he's a good option for maybe the 4th slot if you want to give him a ward or a goad. Though at least those ones are easier to get outside of, well, actually ward and... I forget which one, You know what, now that I think about it, I forget if I actually have ward flyers. Did we talk about ward flyers? I think we did. Yeah, ward flyers. Yeah, that was... Sorry, I'm looking over my list. Oh, boy. Anyways, yeah, that was, I meant goad. Goad and Fortify. Those are at least easier to get. Kind of. Sort of. Maybe, if you're lucky. I'm kind of amazed I actually had a Sheeta to actually look at that. But, oh well. These will all make up a team that you can use. Here's some other options in case you decide to, not go with that. I'm pretty sure I still have her. Yes, I do. I do have a Xerxes. Xerxes is a great unit, especially if you have the time to make her into something a little bit better than herself. I would give her a Brave Axe. Maybe she has some good IVs, like in speed and things like that. She will do exponentially well, especially in a flying team. So she's a good option in case you don't want to use Minerva for whatever reason and instead go with someone else. Or in case you don't want to use Spring Camilla, although Spring Camilla is probably the only option that you can really have when it comes to, Blade Tomes, which is kind of what makes up my whole, you can see my, why is that such a defense? I'm going to need to change that. But still, as you can see up there, my Horse Emblem team, all full of interesting things, but mostly they're all tome users, and they all have Blade Tomes. So, fun stuff. Fun stuff. Tsubaki, of course, a good choice for tanky units. Xerxes is another option. But outside of that, they're, you can always go, if you need a good red unit, Paula is always the option that you can always go with to fill that void. And she automatically comes with Fortify, so it's not a bad idea to have. Yeah, I mean, Goad, not Fortify. God, Goad Flyers, it's always a good option to go with. I'm a little bit, I'm kind of upset that I don't actually have a Hinoka. I thought I did for a second. I thought I did. I was going to make a Flyers team to show off for you guys, but now I'm just gone and depressed myself, and that's just sad. You won't hate me, right? See, this is what I do. Is I want to experiment with a lot of characters, but oftentimes, people complain that I don't use a lot of the roster that I do have. I mean, hell, I have 4 Mays and don't even do anything with them. But, you know, if you do make a flyer team, here's another option that you have to make your tanky units even better, since, well, there's, of course, always options. Let's see here. I hope did I get rid of... I think I used his 4-star version. Whoops. Okay, well, I should still have a 3-star version of him. And if I do, that's great. If I don't, oh boy. Okay, I do. So Miklas, of course, is a Grand Hero Battle unit. So it's not exactly easy to come by to get him, but if you do happen to have him, he does have a pretty nice skill by the means of Iote's Shield, which will allow you to negate any sort of archery attack that might come your way. It's just an option. I would attach it to a more tanky flying unit. That's why I like Tsubaki, in that he can be that tanky unit when you need it, and it will definitely help out a lot more than, say, a Sheeta. Oh boy, Sheeta, we're gonna have to... But Tsubaki, I feel, does a lot better, and if you give him Iote's Shield from, say, Miklas, you might do a lot better, or you could give it to any of your other flying unit teams that you want to. Personally, I wouldn't really put it on Spring Camilla, but Spring Camilla is going to be a major source of damage for you if you decide to go with this team, outside of course, the other units that you do have. Hinoka's great at her own, you know, possibilities. If you happen to have Minerva, she's going to absolutely obliterate. There's all sorts of options here, and Flier Emblem is a pretty viable option. The only problem, of course, is that it does require quite a few rarer units. I mean, I've gotten a lot of Minerva, but unfortunately, that's just kind of how it goes. I'm still living in poverty with my non-upgraded castle, guys. I'm so sorry. But look, there's Spring Camilla. I think I'm gonna go cry now. Bye, guys. See you soon.